Hey guys, it's me, Magical Shante 888. I just thought that I'd pop on for a messages from our spirit guides, what we need to hear. I suppose I can break it down by fire, water, air, earth signs. That is the way that I did it last year. I don't do these readings very often, or I've only done them once because it takes a lot to channel them. And I consider myself a baby in doing tarot this time around in my life, um, in this lifetime. I do believe that in a past lifetime I was a very mystical type woman who had knowledge of different things of that, so but in this life I'm relearning that stuff. So I like to take my time. I don't want to feel overwhelmed or overburdened by any messages coming in, because when I start channeling, they come in and it's like I can't stop, and it's just I feel every emotion, everything. So, in order to eliminate that and for me to be able to save a little bit of energy, I am going to just do this once. So you can watch it whenever you need a reminder of what is going on, and maybe what your purpose is or whatever the message is, however it resonates with you. Whenever you need a reminder, you can always come back and click on this video. My videos are timeless. If I have not introduced myself, I am Magical Shante 888. I am looking to grow my channel. I'm hoping to have 100 subscribers by maybe May of 2023, and then to just continue to grow from there, baby. So if you like what you are hearing so far, just stay tuned and let's go ahead and get started with our spirit guides readings. Before we begin, I do want to take a deep breath and just take a moment, say a prayer to yourself, whatever it is that you need to do to get centered, so that way we can get into the reading and I can get the messages that I need to get for us. All right. And so it is. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this. I am not going to sugarcoat anything. I just say things as I see it. I am only using Oracle decks um, for this spirit guided reading because it eliminates all of the it just eliminates things. It eliminates how much I'm having to process what the cards are meaning and what they might mean for you versus using oracles. It basically says what it is, and I can put the situation together. You can take it if it resonates. If it doesn't, leave it right where it is. No offense. I take no offense. All right. This is only for you to be able to determine what works for you. It's never about what a person is telling you. Like the getting a reading or listening to readings is not about um, anybody else other than yourself. So the things that a person may be able to confirm, um, it's based on you and what it is that you need to hear at that time. And also keep in mind that oracles and tarot is not always 100%. Nothing's 100%. The only thing that is 100% is your free will to believe whatever it is that you want to believe or not. Okay? So just keep that in mind. The first cards that I have is a small little deck. These are rune cards. Um, I got these beautiful little cards, this little deck, the wisdom runes from Five Below. Don't sleep on it. I'm telling you, don't sleep on Five Below. I really should get a whole sponsorship from Five Below, because I promise all of my videos I'm always talking about Five Below, because I live for that store. They have everything. They literally have everything. a little of everything. And it's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and pull our first card to get the advice of what our spirit guides want us to know. Alrighty, and we have Laguz, Water, Lake. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, there it goes. And again, I'm going to apologize for the quality. My phone is just not wanting to work until I can get my camera, until I can get a camera and higher quality stuff. Just bear with me. It's less about how it looks and more about the message, but I understand the aesthetics of things. I understand. I like for things to look a certain way too. So if it's just that bad of quality, then click out. I'm not bothered. Do what you do. So the first message, and I have my handy dandy book because I don't understand runes yet. This is another thing that I would love to be able to learn. All right. And the pronunciation is Laguz. Kind of how I was saying. Laguz. Water, lake, emotion, cleansing, flow, a safe haven. Laguz symbolizes water and emotions, the ebb and flow of water, echo the ever changing tide in our emotional state. When Laguz is drawn, you may have unexpressed feelings beneath the surface that you've kept or that you tried to keep a lid on. This rune is a permission to slip, to let, is the permission slip, to let those tears fall. These waves of emotion can be your intuition telling you that something could help you solve a problem or make a big decision. If you're in a stressful situation, Laguz is an encouragement to be flexible and go with the flow. It can, oh, sorry, excuse me, my nose is itching. It can even mean a literal call to seek out water for its healing magic. Whether it's heading to the pool for a swim or meditating by the sea, water can bring clarity and peace. Laguz also speaks to taking a step out of your comfort zone with a new job or an adventurous trip. Just like the Vikings set sail into unknown seas, this may be the time for you to take a chance and seek a new horizon. Received. So this first reading group of people is gonna be for the water signs. And maybe I won't do it that way. Whatever your sign is, like I'm just thinking, I was like, okay, well, water, but not necessarily, because not necessarily. We're made up of all elements. We're made up of all elements. So I was gonna break it down by fire, water, air, earth. Um, but this one is just going to be where it's at. I'll decide later on, maybe, to break it down. I'm stating water, but we'll see. All right, so far, that is the first card. Let's see where else I'm drawn to, which deck I'm drawn to. And it is the African Goddess Rising. I'm always drawn to this one. This is my favorite deck. All of them are my favorites. All of them are. But this one, when I need to be read, they always come for me. They always do. And I'll be like, dang, I'm telling you, they hold nothing back. They let it all come out. Thank you, Divine Goddesses, for guiding us. Please give us any messages that we need. First card we have is Betrayal. I don't know if you can see that. Betrayal. Next card we have is Tituba. This is one of my favorite cards to see too. Feeling Safe, number 4. Next card we have is Aizen, number 42, miracles. All right, I guess I'll take all these. Then we have soul forgiveness, number 28. We also have brazen. We also have self sabotage. And lastly, we have sacred lust. All right. So I initially was just going to pull 6 cards, but I ended up with what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cards from the goddesses. So going back to Laguz, the rune that I selected, that did state taking new chance, taking a new opportunity to do something different out the blue, but also recognizing that there may be things that are suppressed, which would show up as self sabotage, which could show up as betrayal to ourselves. But in the middle of that, we have feeling safe. Tituba teaches us that it is safe to be ourselves, be who it is that we want to be, and in doing so, making sure that we are doing that, being true to ourselves, because if not, it in turn turns into the ultimate betrayal, which is self sabotage. Much easier said than done. Not judging if this is your story or if it's not, or if it has been, or if it, I don't know. But ultimately, with the Laguz card, we have miracles. So there are obviously new things that can come in for us when we step into our power, remembering that we are safe, we are held to a high regard with our spirit guides, with God, Jesus, whoever you pray to, whoever. You are held to a high regard, but you must first hold yourself to that high regard that you speak of, and the high regard that you may put other people, or the high regard that you might hold other people to, start holding yourself to that same high regard. Again, easier said than done when you've been practicing or you've been doing something for such a long time in a certain way. It takes unlearning that, but not unlearning it, or making a choice, a conscious choice to not unlearn that lesson, and I'm speaking to myself, is ultimately self sabotage and the betrayal of yourself. There is no bigger betrayal than the betrayal to you. There's no bigger betrayal when you know that there's something that you should do differently, or when you know that there's something that you should not be doing, um, and you just continue to do it because maybe it does feel safe. Guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilt. I don't know which hand. Right hand? Right hand. Guilty. However, we do have Mubuku, Mubu, I don't know how to pronounce it. Mu, soul forgiveness is needed at this time, for going through this betrayal, betraying yourself, maybe selling yourself short, maybe not taking the opportunity that you could have taken, um, and or if this is you in the future, I don't know. But it seems like this is a past situation that the goddesses are leading us um, back to, for us to be able to release it as the new year comes along with the water. Release, release it. So that way you can come into this energy of being brazen. To be brazen is to be proud, not boastful, but to be proud. Your colors shine, you're bright. Your coat is bright and shiny. You're noticeable. When you walk into a room, people stare at you. They stop and stare. But not because of your beauty, but because of your essence. Because of when you walk in, You just have this energy about you that's so unbothered, and you feel safe within yourself to show up as you. You don't have to pretend to be anybody else. You don't have to pretend to like what other people like because you're safe. You're with you. You're one with you. So you don't have any desire to compete or compare with anyone else. In fact, it's boring. And I could not agree more. I concur. So it sounds as though the goddesses are either guiding us to this place, or they recognize that this was a place that we were at for a period of time in our life, and they are now asking us to release those things, and that we are, and to remind us that we are safe, and it is safe for us to show up as us. It is safe for us to be who it is that we stated that we are. And if at any time something does not suit us anymore, we have the right to say, this doesn't work for me anymore, and walk away and release it with this water and move forward and take the same water and rebuild and plant seeds and make something else that works for us. Lastly, but certainly not least, and I'll read about this one to see how it pertains to all of this, we have sacred lust. And her name is Katesh, and she's beautiful. She has two schmittens, honey. Okay? Sacred Lust. She is number 26, which breaks down to number 8. 8 is my second favorite number. 7 is my first. Um, let's see, 26. I don't know what's going on. The ghetto, child. The ghetto. I'm so ready to go. Y'all have no idea. All right. Yeah, I think I said that last year too. But that was beginning of this year, and it was the same type of shit. And here we are. Anywho, um, Katesh is the goddess of sacred lust in Egypt. Her temple is the lovers. Her element is fire. Katesh is the mistress of the gods. She is the Egyptian goddess of sacred sexuality, ecstasy, and fertility. Her two men, yes, the fertility god, Men, and Montu, the god of war. You are an erotic creature. You have a divine right to experience sensual ecstasy. It is sacred to give and receive pleasure. Embodiment. You deserve to feel good. It feels good to feel good. So allow yourself to feel good. Lean into your sacred lust. Turn down your own fire and quench your thirst. Dance with pleasure. You daring to embrace your sensuality will set the world on fire. And the goddess declaration is, it feels good to feel good, baby. Okay? I.e., the example that I provided when stating that you feel safe, it takes feeling safe to be able to get into this place of sacred lust. Because, when you don't feel safe, you're not going to feel sexy. And sensuality really does not have anything to do with sex. It's an embodiment, it's an energy, it's a confidence that women exude naturally, but a lot of times it's stripped from us because of things that we've experienced, um, from things that we have sometimes self inflicted, um, you know, but literally you have all of the steps here. So you have the water to cleanse you of the things, which we showed betrayal, okay, was the very first one. Then you kind of go back to feeling safe, but then you also have self sabotage, um, kind of feeling safe with that self sabotage because it's easier to do, but also recognizing that you cannot obtain the things that you are meant to obtain if you are continuing to betray yourself and sell yourself short and self sabotage by not doing the things that it is that you know you need to do And I'm speaking to myself also because there are a few things that I should be doing, even as I'm making this video, to be able to get me to the next level, um, which is these miracles, followed by soul forgiveness. Honestly, I could swap the two because it requires a sense of soul forgiveness after experiencing the betrayal of yourself, which led to the self sabotage, or the self sabotage leading to the betrayal of yourself, which leads you to need to forgive yourself, a deep soul forgiveness. In fact, I'm going to read that card also before I close this out. But after you go through that soul forgiveness, we have number 17, which breaks down to 8, which is brazen. And as I mentioned, that energy is bold and bright. Not necessarily boastful, but it's bold and bright. And you're unapologetic about who you are, which leads you to the sacred lust. This is how you're able, if you see how she is, this is someone, imagine her fully clothed, whatever, or not, okay? Walking into a door and all eyes are on her. She's beautiful. I mean, but not even looking at her face, just her energy. If you see her essence, it speaks volumes before she can even speak. And that's what many of us have, but we have been in this place of telling ourselves that we're not, held to this high regard, and we are. And many people outside of ourselves actually do hold us to this regard. We just haven't learned to accept that. Um, we haven't learned to accept that because sometimes it's hard because then you think that there's pressure to look a certain way and be a certain way when nobody's asking you to be perfect, and the people who are living in a weird and sick and twisted fallacy of life because nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. And if it is, you should be very, very leery of that. You should be concerned because nothing's perfect. It just is what it is. Okay. But as promised, I am going to go ahead and read about number 28. I will clarify with some Angels of Abundance cards and also my personal Oracle deck. And then we'll go ahead and close this out. We're already at 22 minutes. I don't really want to go past maybe 35 minutes. I'm probably going to try to break this down as a short too, because that's how the algorithm works these days. All right, and we have Mubukumu, goddess of soul forgiveness. Bantu, her temple also is the lovers. Her element is the bush. Um, Goddess Mumbuku was the first woman. Her father, Akongo, the cranky supreme god, put Mabumku and her loud children in a basket and dismissed them to earth. What or who What, yeah, or who do you need to forgive? Let go and reclaim yourself. Forgiveness is a gift of freedom to yourself from you. You can't rush forgiveness. You have to feel it to heal it. Feel the pain, hurt, grief, rage, and despair. Take time with your heart. Forgiveness is a higher vibration frequency than the pain you must allow yourself to feel. Unforgiveness colors your world with lack, mistrust, and resentment. You start to see everything through victim colored glasses. But forgiveness does not have to include reconciliation. Start with self-forgiveness. Start with self-forgiveness. Say out loud, I forgive myself with love. Let's say that a couple times. I forgive myself with love. I forgive myself with love. All right. And the goddess declaration is I forgive and free myself. I forgive and free others. Let's say that one too. I forgive and free myself. I forgive and free others. And so it is. All right. So I'm glad that I read that one. Let's go ahead and clear. I'm going to pull one card, angel card of abundance. Shuffle these. I hope y'all are doing well. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. I hope you're enjoying the video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Subscribe. All right. And we were getting the lovers a lot. So maybe some sort of partnership. Maybe there's something that needs to be forgiven in a partnership or to be able to get to a partnership. Also, at the bottom, we have ask for your needs to be met. But I'm going to read this one first. Partnership. Allow healthful, supportive partnerships into your personal life and career, and both parties benefit as a result. You are receiving help from heaven and from a person who brings needed skills and resources. I don't know if you can see that. All right, so there's that. And then, as I mentioned at the bottom, we have ask for your needs to be met. And this says, God and the angels come to your aid only if you make a free will choice to be helped, and it begins with asking. It doesn't matter how you ask God for help, but only that you do so. The same holds true with clearly asking other people to assist you, whatever that means for you. But the water cleanses and clears things. While you're at the water cleansing and clearing, speak a prayer, speak an affirmation, whatever it is that works for you, and just ask for all of these things. Ask for self sabotage to be removed from you. Ask for the betrayers and the betrayal to be removed out of your life. Now, don't be alarmed if when praying for these things begin to shift and abruptly, and people start falling to the wayside or situations start falling to the wayside. It's to make new, to make anew, to make things clear. Water cleanses and clears, but it's also the way of life. So you have to be able to ebb and flow with it. Like there's just so many different ways to even break down water and what it means. Like it's real deep. It really is. Maybe I'm making it deeper than it needs to be, but that's how I feel. Anywho, so hopefully this has been clear for you. Let me pull a couple more cards for you. We have, let me clarify. Let me clarify betrayal. All right. And we have, for betrayal, fucked around and became the woman I look up to. After you recognize the betrayal, there's something in that. All right. Feeling safe. We have fear don't live here, my G. I don't know if you can see that. This, it's like the lighting, it's just so, there we go. Fear don't live here, my G. All right. That's on top of Tituba, feeling safe. Let's clarify self-sabotage. And we have transmute energy so that it falls in line with you. So what that may mean is when it comes to things that you may do that self-sabotage, focus on transmuting that energy. So let's say a form of self-sabotaging is eating healthy. So instead of dreading the fact that you are eating salad instead of those delicious chicken wings from Wingstop, maybe train your mind to think that the salad that you're eating is like the chicken wings. I don't know. Then that's then that's negative positivity. Just work on transmuting things to make them work for you. All right. And then we have miracles. Let's clarify miracles. We have freedom on miracles. we have I will let go of how I think today is supposed to go and accept how imperfectly it happens for soul forgiveness. So letting go of things. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be today. It could be whenever you watch this or whatever situation it is that you need to let go of. Just recognize it was a situation that wasn't ideal. I experienced it and here I am. And I forgive myself for those experiences and for whatever it is that I need to forgive myself for. Only you'll know that. All right. And then we have for brazen, I have boy, you know I'm one in a billion. As I mentioned, brazen energy can be, it's very bright and bold, and this is very boastful. You know I'm one in a billion, but it's also knowing your goddamn worth. Okay? That's really, really, really what it is. Just knowing your worth. We've changed decks. All right. And we have You're just too good to be true, can't take my eyes off of you for sacred lust. And I mean, remembering that I mentioned how the energy is when you are sure of yourself, when you are feeling safe, when you are in main character energy, like people can't take their eyes off of you. They don't know what it is about you. On top of if you are an attractive person, it makes you 10 times more attractive and interesting. It is what it is. And even if you don't feel like you're the most attractive person, having that confidence is key. It's everything. It's what makes you even more attractive. It just is. And if you know how to put yourself together, you smell good, your hair is always done or haircut or whatever, you dress nice. It don't mean you gotta spend a bunch of money. It don't mean that you gotta have the nicest shit. But it's just how you put yourself together, how you talk to people, how you treat people, how you carry yourself. It's that. It's all of that. So that's basically the reading. As I mentioned, I don't necessarily know if it's going to be for fire, water, or air. As of right now, I'm kind of feeling like it's for the water signs, kind of because of the water at the beginning, but we'll see. I have a few more videos to do. Um, Make sure that you are liking, sharing, and commenting, and most importantly, subscribing, so that way you know whenever I post content, um, to keep me in the algorithm and to keep me, afloat. Like it helps whenever y'all like, even if it's 12 or 13 of y'all, like it lets me know, like, okay, I'm doing something right. Like I'm not just doing this for no reason. And I know that I'm not, but sometimes it can feel that way if I'm not really getting where it is that I want to get, but I also recognize there's even more effort that I can put into it. I could go a little harder. So I understand and recognize that also. Either way, again, like, share, comment, subscribe. I am Magical Shante 888. I do believe I am going to go on to the next set of signs to go ahead and do our spirit guides reading. All right. Um, I will check you in the next one. Peace.